just seen, right, the best movie I've ever seen in my life, right? It's about this bloke, right? He's a commander of this battalion, right? And he's in El Alamein, right? And he keeps running out and going, ooh, smelly poop, like that. It's called The Full Monty, right? I'm going home. No, that Full Monty, that's a good film. Which version have you seen? The one that's in the cinemas, not the original. Ah, you want to see the original with me and Robbie Coltrane, right? It's fantastic. We just walk into this building and go, whoa, girls, kit off, movie over. Absolutely brilliant. Here's another movie I've done. I've had to send this one back to the people to have it redone because it's, they've got the name wrong. It's supposed to be Millsy of Arabia. It's about me going and whacking a load of Arabs. That's brilliant. And this, right, I don't know how clever you are, you might not even understand this, but I got this aftershave someone gave me for one of my birthdays, right, because I got two, like the Queen. And, but whenever I put it on, I'd go out in the street and go, oi, don't let your dog foul on the pavement. Oi, it's 6:30, them kids should be in bed. Oi, don't ride your bike on that side of the road. And it just drove me mad in the end. It's draconian. It's... What we got in here now? Let's have a look in the cupboard, see what Lil's left. Oh, this is nice. You know turkeys and chickens, right? You know what they have? You know they have that thing there? There. Well, look at that. You can cook them up. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Look. Gizzard snacks. They are beautiful. Beautiful, they really are. And, did she get the stuff? Oh, she got it. Oh, that's good. That's nice. Because Les Dennis is coming around tomorrow. And whenever Les comes round, he always has to have his food presented in a certain way, and I always have to sprinkle a bit of this on the top, especially for Les. There you go, look. A jerk seasoning. Hey, Les, only joking, I love you. Like, he watches this show. Now, what we got here? Oh, let's have a look what's in the magic dumbwaiter. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Now, you could snack on that for all week. Lovely box of raisins. I'll get that. And this cigarette that one of the blokes out of Oasis left in my house. Box of raisins, put it in there, close it down, send it down to my family, the one-legged Welsh woman. Oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Stoned raisins. Look at that. Right, as it happens, you're very, very lucky to find me in this time of night, because normally, this time of night, I'd be out and about. So my Uncle Bernie's done one again, right? He got this, someone wanted him to design a maze. So he said, oh, yeah, I can do that. I've done the one at Hampton Court, right? He's such a pig in lie. He's never done a maze. Look what he's done. Look, come here. Look. It's all right, he's cut the edges, right? So he goes, oh, look, you come in here. Look. Whoa, and then what do? You either go that way, Uncle Bernie, or you go this way, Uncle Bernie, or you go out. I ain't amazed. I'll try to tell you, you're making a fool of yourself. He's charged 150 grand to these people. What do they know? They're probably Japanese or something like that. They think it's... They come in here and go, oh, and they get panic attacks like that. No, listen. Shut up now. It's hero time. You know who are my heroes in life? Who are my role models in life? There are three of them, right? Lionel Blair, obviously. Wayne Sleep, quite obviously. And this man, because as you know, the goddess Terpsichore has kissed my forehead, OK? I can dance. And this is the man who is pretty much my mentor, because he is of a certain type of dancing. Obviously, it's Wayne for the ballet, it's Lionel for the modern jazz, and it's this man for real dancing.
Well, after my father, I am the best dancer after him. See, he was the king of tap dancing. I've never seen nobody, no other man outdance him or outthink him in his mind. But to me, I'm left to carry on that tradition, to fill his shoes, and I'm going to do my best to try to do it.
I noticed a little bit of laughter there, which I didn't really appreciate. All right? He's a brilliant dancer, the best dancer of this type of dancing, and he lives in Boone County. Now, I don't know where you're from. If there's anyone from Devon or Cornwall or Snowdonia National Park, you'll know, this kind of thing will be nothing for you. Beautiful scenery. But this is Boone County, where I suspect Beethoven was thinking of when he wrote his Pastoral Symphony. It's absolutely breathtaking. So just enjoy the view and enjoy a little bit of his dancing. Now, can I just say, as you get to know this man, you'll realise that the best thing that could happen at this point is if a bastard great truck came along. He's a weird fish, okay? Here he is here now. We're making a film on me. I want to show you my gun. I want to show you my gun. I use it to kill hippies. No, don't say that. Well, that's what I use. Hippies come down and we should say something else. Don't tell everyone watching that you kill hippies. It's wrong. That's his name, by the way. No, we tried to come up with a few. The one that we came closest to was the cavorting idiot. Right? No, he wanted to be the dancing outlaw, and the dancing outlaw he was. Anyway, here he is with his gun. Don't tell him you kill hippies.
This right here is a 12-gauge shotgun. It's a Harrison Richmond. It's a damn good gun. I've killed 32 squirrels.
Squirrels, that's better, yeah. It's just much safer for legal reasons, right? Now, his name is Jessica. Jessica is his christened name. I doubt he's ever been inside a church, but Jessica's name. But he calls himself Jess, and there's two reasons why.
My real name is Jessica White, but I apparently go by Jesse because of my grandpa, Jesse Gerald.
You see? It's Jessica, but his grandfather was called Jesse, so he calls himself Jesse. Just keeping on that tradition, because he's a bit of an old sentimentalist, really. And, of course, there is one other reason which is useful for him.
And I like that name better. It's easy to spell and easy to understand.
Two choices in life. Either learn to spell your own name or change it. I'll change it then. All right. That seems like the easier thing for me. He's talking about his early life now.
The first time I got in trouble in my life, in my younger days, was breaking in a grocery store.
Okay, that's a minor misdemeanor. All kids do that. You break and enter a grocery store. But then something happened. Obviously, his dancing took off, and he met one of the most beautiful women in the world. Well, in the southern states of, well, in that swamp. Changed his life, and they live very happily and contentedly. Now, the only time they ever have a slight row is in the kitchen, because there isn't a man in this room who hasn't had a slight contretemps at some point with his wife, where he hasn't said, darling, this toast, it's a little bit overdone. Do you know what I mean? Or, darling, this pasta, not quite al dente. Ooh, and you have a little cuddle and you make it. It's exactly the same with Jessica and Mrs. Jessica.
And I took the butcher knife and put it up to her neck. I said, if you want to live to see tomorrow, you better start frying them eggs a little bit better than what you're frying. I'm calling slimy eggs.
No, fair enough, no. No, excuse me, you wake up in the morning, you've got a hard day's dancing ahead of you. You don't want spunky eggs. You don't want it. End of story. But he's a big Elvis fan. He sings like Elvis, and what's more, he plays guitar so much like the original Elvis tracks. I can't help thinking that he was around in Memphis at the time. So here he is in his Elvis, guys.
He wants to get away from this tap dancing stuff and get in this Elvis stuff. To my advice, I would, for Jesco to take his dad's shoes and go on and do what his dad wanted him to do and get away from this Elvis stuff. Because it ain't going to amount to nothing to Jesco. But this other will.
Just by the way, that's not the woman he married. All right, because she ain't no great beauty. You wait till you see Mrs. Jesco. That's all I can say. Every now and again, you have to put something in for the boys, and Mrs. Jesco is said thing. Anyway, let's see, we can leave Jesco, the fantastic little story that he tells. And it kind of illustrates the misunderstanding of how different people recollect different things. Like, you may say this happened, and someone else says, oh, I can't remember it being like that. But here's Jesco's story. It's a very funny story. It's worth listening to. About the time he was driving home, and he remembered he'd left his sunglasses at his mum's house. It's cute.
We got halfway home. I told my wife, I said, Norma, I said, I forgot my sunglasses at Mommy's. And something's just telling me to go back and get my sunglasses. I want to go back and get my sunglasses. I said, I just let Dorsey borrow him the wire. I didn't give them to him. I want to go back and get them. She said, Jesse, it's off a long way to go back and get the sunglasses. I said, we'll go back tomorrow and get them. I said, no, man, by God, we're going to go back tonight and get them. I said, I paid for them, and ain't no other God, you know what, going to wear my glasses. She said, Jesse, that's off a long way to go.
Sorry, I'm sorry about this, but just, you'll pick up the story in a minute, but who would pay £35,000 for a satellite dish and £18 for their house. Anyway, sorry, back to Jessica and the sunglasses.
Jesse, it's off a long way to go back and get the sunglasses. We'll go back tomorrow and get them. I said, no, man, by God, we're going to go back tonight and get them. I said, I paid for them, and ain't no other God, you know what, going to wear my glasses after me spending my money for them. Them's mine and mine only. I said, I just let him use them. And I said, I will go back and get them. She said, no, I don't think that's the idea. They're drinking, Jesse, and said, I'm tired. So that's...
This, what we got here, so he's a contrarian. He wants to go back and get the glasses. She doesn't want to, she's tired. And once again, he wins her over with his silver-tongued cavalier style.
Go home and go to bed. I said, no, you're going to go to bed, all right. You're going to go to bed in a coffin. If you don't turn this vehicle around, we're about to get my glasses. See, that's how the drinking and stuff had me at the time. This is true. And I said, I'll blow your effing brains out all over the dash. And I said, I won't hesitate 1 minute, man, about doing it.
Now, we're about to meet Mrs. Jesko now, and with her version of events, all right?
I want to go back and I want to get my shade.
Jesse said we're going back to Prince.
No, that's exactly what I didn't want. That's exactly what I didn't want to hear. Stupid cat calling and wolf whistling, all right? Now, control yourself. Boys, come on. Thank you. This is her version of events.
Jesse said we're going back to Printer. He said I left my sunglasses up there. So I just went on back to Printer and...
He said we want to go back, so I went back. You've totally forgotten about him threatening to blow your effing head all over the dashboard. Okay, fair enough.
Because you wanted to come on home, and my costly sunglasses had to lay up there with some other weirdo wearing them.
Some other weirdo wearing my glasses. Ladies and gentlemen, if this man thinks you're a weirdo, you're in trouble deep, all right? I think that's... Oh, no, there is one other little thing, right? A little bit. I'd just like to say hello to Jessica's brother, who's got a bit of a troubled life, really. 3 problems. Firstly, his name's Dorothy. Secondly, he saw Dick Van Dyke in the movie Mary Poppins and thinks it's a really cool way to talk. And thirdly, occasionally he flies off the handle and talks Norwegian. But taking that into account, we'll just say hello to him just before we go to the break.
My name's Dorsey. They come up here and there's other guys dead and started a fight. And they come back up and said, we wanted to finish the fight, you know. My older brother, he come back out fighting a dude and done whooped him. He said, I've had enough. And he headed out of the holler, and like they said in the holler, and he grabbed up.
Now, here's something that, to me, is tailor-made for us at Holby. Imagine if you will this, a child of the 60s, do you know what I mean? A hippie, a bit down on his luck now, and he's wandering along. Maybe he's had a bottle of Strongbow cider, something like that. He's coming along, and he's seen this, and he's had a fit of nostalgia. He's always thought beanbag is a lovely beanbag that he's had on the bedsit. And he's come along, you see, and he's flopped down on it. But as you can see, aggregate, I believe they call that in the building trade. Now, he flops down here, thinks, oh, man, I'll listen to a bit of Jimi Hendrix, Doors, Piccadilly Witch, and he falls down, and obviously, the effect that would have on his spinal cord, the whole of his back, it'd be terrible, terrible injuries for him. All right. Show business people can be a little bit savage sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. I went out just the other night with Michael Barrymore, a very good friend of mine, and also Mr. Dale Winton. Dale and Michael and I went out, and we'd had a few beers, and they went to the other bar, and they came in and they said, there's about half a dozen skinheads in there, Millsy, cutting up rough. And we thought if the 3 of us went in there to take one, we could give them a pasting. And I said, no, let's not. And Dale was up for it. He had his shirt. And Michael was saying, yeah, all right, yeah. And unfortunately, I bottled it. And rather cruelly, they sent me this today in the post. I think look, they felt extra balls. They felt it was a little bit unkind of them. There's some fantastic books here. I wrote a book called Evangelism. It was a book all about evangelism and how to be an evangelist, and it said that you had to be imbued with the Spirit of God, and you had to go out and spend years and years on the road preaching and you could become an evangelist. And the publisher said, I don't think anyone's going to go for it. So I've got this other thing where you just say, I'm an evangelist, and you become an evangelist. And that's my book there, Evangelism Made Slightly Less Difficult. Just slightly less, that's all. Oh, another book that I've written, I'm not sure what the market's going to be from this, but I think it might be huge. Have you ever done this? Well, if anyone's ever done this, have you ever put money in a chocolate machine on the station, and did you get your chocolate? No. No. And have you ever put money in a phone box, and then could you make the call? No. And have you ever put £3 in a fag machine, and then you didn't get the fags? No. See? Exactly, which is why I think you'll find this book useful here. This is my latest book, Why Change Doesn't Work. That's all my books, only in my library. I'll tell you what I'm going to do now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to do something that I don't usually do when you come round and visit me here. I do have a bit of a background in stand-up comedy, and I'm going to just do a little bit of stand-up comedy for you. I thought you might like that. I see there's two people here who've seen me before. One of them's got a machine gun, the other one's got a hand grenade. And I'd like to thank you for coming on behalf of the promoters, capitalist pig promoters, who thank you from the bottom of their wallet. You see, once you've got it, you don't lose it. Once you've got it, you don't lose it. And of course, many, many years ago, when I first started out in this business, I wasn't always called Bob Mills. I used to be, and there's a tape of me in action here. Have a look at this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And it's my job as Johnny Rubbish. I see two of you can recognise.
Sorry, that was my stage name. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right? Her name's not Cilla Black, right? So you have a stage name, obviously. And that was mine. So just pay attention, all right? Here we go. Here's my act. Fantastic.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And it's my job as Johnny Rubbish. I see two of you can recognise me. One's got a hand grenade, the other one's got a machine gun. It's my job to introduce you. I've practiced that now. I can get out of the way of it. It's my job to introduce you on behalf of the promoters, Capitalist Pig Promotions, who'd like to thank you from the bottom of their wallets for coming along tonight.
It's good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I used to wow them. I used to wow them. And hey, impressions? Oh, yes.
And I'll introduce this good band to you as, say, Janet Street Porter would, and she'd say...
Right, close your eyes now. Close your eyes, and I swear you'll think, oh, no, they brought Janet Street Porter on. It's fantastic. Have a listen.
In all the years that I've been doing commentating on the rock, by far the best band. There's two things that I do in the morning. The first is I put my teeth in, and then I listen to X-ray specs.
I tell you what, if I phoned up now to the BBC with that voice, they'd give me a job. They'd say, Janet, welcome back, sweetheart. It's absolutely brilliant. And don't forget, is any of you around in the punk era, the Stranglers? One thing we knew then, no more heroes anymore. No more heroes. Get rid of all that. Get rid of that. We're all the same. There are no more heroes anymore. They were the strongest words from the punk movement.
Isn't he frightened by punk audiences?
No, I wasn't scared really at all. I'm not making myself out to be a hero because there aren't any more.
Be very careful, you see. Be very careful. So what I used to do, right, what made me a little bit different from the other comedians was that I used to perform in a box. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
What do you normally find in a dustbin? What deserves to be in a dustbin?
And they'd all go, rubbish! They used to love me, them kids. What they used to do, sometimes they used to sit on the box so I couldn't get out. Like 3 or 4 hours.
Hippie coke in my pocket. I'll snort that and see if I can get out. I need a second.
Here I come, here I come.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, out the box. Big round of applause they give me, look.
There we are. Good evening, or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is a party political broadcast on behalf of the Conservative Party. James Callaghan is a...
Little bit of politics I used to throw in. But what I'd do, I'd come out right and I'd hit them straight away with the West Ham gag. The classic West Ham gag, listen.
Oh, fallen over. Who out there likes West Ham? Thought he might get that.
Well...
And who out there...
Well... Oh, no, no punchline to the West Ham gag, I remembered. So then I'd do, would you like to see on top of a bonfire gag, right?
Spit coming from everywhere. Oh, we're all having a good time. If it was bonfire night again...
No, we used to do that in comedy. What's the matter with that? I'm very surprised now, all these years later, to be sitting here completely gob-free. No, anyway, shut up or you'll miss the brilliant bonfire gag, right?
Who would you like to see on top of the bonfire? Huey Green, Don Revy, or the Queen?
Right.
Which one of those?
And the punchline is...
Ladies and gentlemen, good night, and may your spit go with you.
Right, see, Don Revy, the Queen, ladies and gentlemen, good night. They were different days, but one thing we knew back then, you saved your best material till right at the very end, and you finished with your biggest gag, the one that was going to get the biggest round of applause.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be glad to know that I'm leaving.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be glad to know that I'm leaving.
Happy, darling?
Oh, yes. And didn't we have a lovely honeymoon?
The best. But it's wonderful to be in our new home together as well.
Yes. And especially as your parents don't have our address.
Yeah, I do feel quite bad about that. But you know what they're like. They just really wouldn't fit in around here.
Who knows? Could that be?
I don't know.
Oh,
no! It's the...
I got your sunglasses for you, Jesco.